What up, what up, what up? You got the original Lone Wolf coming at you. I'm going to try to make this video quick, but it may not be that quick, right? And for people that's been subscribing to my channel for a while, I make quick videos. I try not to do the whole, 4, 5, God knows how long, 12-hour videos that people do, right? I try to keep them quick. I like to be on point, and I like to get straight to it, right? So this is what we're going to do, right? We're gonna start off by listening to this guy here. Fair use, right? The guy you see on screen is called, and I'm gonna brighten up my screen a little bit too. The guy you see on screen is called Prepper Dog, right? Now, I subscribe to his channel, right? I'm personally telling you this, right? But I subscribe to his channel like I do various other people because I like to keep up with other things that people have to talk about who are not my people, who are the Aboriginal Untouchless people of this land. The people that all the other cultures of people saw when they first came here, the ones that I'm claiming to be a part of. I like to keep up with people who are not a part of that culture to see what they have to say. I want you guys to listen to this because, number one, I want to point out how he's mistaken about a lot of things he's saying. And I don't know if it's intentional because he's an agent or a shield or a sleeper agent or a subverter, or maybe he's just dumb. I don't know. And this is where the fair use part come in, because I'm just going to critique the things that he say, right? And based off the things that he said, I screenshotted comments that I left him on his video that he just did, telling him certain things. And I wasn't disrespectful or anything like that. But this right here is an example of when y'all heard me tell you nothing in this world is going to get better until people bow down to the truth. To the truth. I want y'all to listen to this. Just listen to this, and I'm going to try not to interrupt, and I'm going to do everything in my power to put this toward the end, to where my commentary, I'm going to do everything in my power, but this guy is either just 100% honestly mistaken, or this guy's an agent. And this is one of the reasons for why I listen to certain people.
Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on a Tuesday night. Is it time to leave America? We'll talk about that. That is something that's being talked about more here lately. And I've had some emails asking me to do a video on it. I'm also going to share a
Oh, and you already know the original Lone Wolf is going to do a video on it. Continue.
good, encouraging verse. So stay tuned for that as well. But first, there was a comment in my last video that I thought was very interesting. And it said that this person had a scanner radio and they were listening in, I guess, the police scanner or emergency scanner radio. And they were listening to what was going on. I believe it was this past Saturday night during the riots that went on in Chicago. And they said that the biggest thing they noticed was that the law enforcement units.
And by the way, guys, what I'm doing is I'm just showing you the actual comments that I'm leaving before I show you the screenshots, because I want you guys to really pay attention to this. And I swear I'm gonna try to be quiet. I'm gonna try to be quiet because, for one, I tell y'all, when I do screen shares, I want you to pay attention. All right, it's kind of like when Jim Red Wolf do the reading and shit, and I ain't gotten to the reading yet because, like, Red is a historian. I've been tapping into the fraud these motherfuckers been on. I ain't even been doing no reading on that. Like how Red read about the historical shit, all of the codes, these United States codes, and all of the bullshit that I came across. I don't even read that shit like how he do. So I just want you guys to pay attention to this, and I'm gonna do everything in my power to stop interrupting this so you guys can hear it and get the full gist. Because this shit this guy just said is like, it's like, my God. But needless to say, I stopped this for the last time to show you that these are real live comments that I left them. Like, but we'll get to that later.
Were asking for backup. They just kept asking for backup because they were vastly outnumbered, of course. Kept asking for backup, and her radio, and they were.
I'm backing up, guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna rewind a little bit.
For that as well. But first, there was a comment in my last video that I thought was very interesting, and it said that this person had a scanner radio, and they were listening in, I guess, the police scanner or emergency scanner radio, and they were listening to what was going on. I believe it was this past Saturday night, during the riots that went on in Chicago. And they said that the biggest thing they noticed was that the law enforcement units were asking for backup. They just kept asking for backup because they were vastly outnumbered, of course. Kept asking for backup, and the reply from dispatch over and over said, "We have no one else to send. We have no one else to send. That's it." I mean, think about that for a minute. That is very telling.
Go farther with the Gold Card. Every flight is the beginning of a new journey. Enjoy.
And I think we've only begun to see the start of that. And if you think that's bad, just wait. Just wait. Okay, back to our question. Now, like I said, I've had some emails asking me about this, and I've noticed some other people talking about it in comments. There are a couple of other content creators who have brought this question forward. And, with all that's going on in the United States, they're saying, is it time to leave? And, if you think about it, I mean, collapse. Just think about the word collapse on many levels. Economic collapse, here in the United States. And you could even lump Canada, you can even say North America, basically. But I think the specific question was United States, time to leave America. But economic collapse, you have societal breakdown, you got political corruption, collapse, education, in the toilet, crime on the increase, bad. Culture in the toilet. Everything's upside down. What is good is being called evil. What is evil is being called good. We see this. Healthcare breaking down. Food supply, supply chain. We still have problems with that. Retail's in big time trouble. You name it. Just about any corner of just about any institution right now is on the ropes. Military as well. So I can see where that question is coming up. Now, if you think about it, though, and these are just some things that came to mind when I thought about this question before I answer it, myself. Many of our ancestors came here to have a better life, to escape where.
Pay attention, guys. Pay attention to this. I wanted y'all to hear his rhetoric because he finna get to that real one thou wow. All right? I'm going to back it up like 15 seconds. Pay this shit some attention. Listen to this. Listen and understand.
But now, if you think about it, though, and these are just some things that came to mind when I thought about this question before I answer it, myself. Many of our ancestors came here to have a better life, to escape where they were because they were under tyranny or they didn't have the freedom they wanted. So they came to the United States, the land of the free, and have a new opportunity. So many of our ancestors did. Even if you look at I was looking at some of my ancestry, and on my dad's side, it was traced back to the mid 1600s. An immigrant from Wales came over. I believe it said he was an indentured servant, like older teenager at the time. On mom's side, German, a native from Germany. She came over here when she was 19 years old, learned the language.
Boom. And this is part of what I just left him in his comments. I wasn't disrespectful to him, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that down the road. I told him, like, yeah, like, bro, the black man, the colored, the Negro, the African American, this is our land. This is why they treat us the way they do. Again, look, all I'm trying to get you guys to understand is one of the things that I say too. Nothing is going to get better until we undo the crap that's been going on all this time. And I don't care how good of a person you are, it has to be acknowledged. You just heard this man. He just openly admitted he's not from here. But you got people that look just like him that call themselves an American. You got people that look just like him that say we need to take our country back. You got people that look just like him that say we need to make America great again. The reason for why I'm pointing all of this out is simple. At no point in this video do he acknowledge to the original people of this land. This is something they won't do. Don't you understand the jig is up? We already dealing with a situation right now where people are prideful. Don't you understand that? We dealing with shit right now where people are prideful. They don't want to accept it. I told y'all about my brother. Nice little house, couple acres of land and shit in Indiana and, right next door to Illinois. Do his thing. Been working quarter century where he worked and et cetera, et cetera. And he worked upon that illusion and the fictitiousness of being a taxpayer and an employee. I told y'all what the IRS call an employee. Right? He one of the very same people. He don't get that. But yet when you try to express to him what this guy is saying, right? Because I'm not here to slander dude, prepper dog or whatever. I ain't here to slander him. You know why? For number one, that ain't my MO. I don't do shit like that. Number two, he admitting his genealogy. He telling you he not from here. I can't slander him. I can't. Why? Because he being honest. Something that most mofos won't do. So the whole point of this video is to say, here you go, once again, to go to show you how the universe work. You have people, they come out just like what he doing now. He tell me, is it time to leave America? Like I told him in the video, well, in the comments, I left him in this very video that I'm playing. Fair use. Once again, fair use. I expressed to him, hey man, the black, colored, Negro, African American, et cetera, et cetera. They're original American Indians, right? They're the original people. See, once you home into that, you understand what happened to them. Everybody know what happened. The thing is, people can't put a face with the original people because of the so-called Mongols and the Siberians and the so-called Mexicans and Latinos and all that shit. They all wrapped into this so-called, I'm 11% native. And it's like, well, I don't even understand how you categorize that to an actual number. But seeing that you did, who are you? Because I ain't never seen you at a cookout, nigga. That's who these people are. And he's acknowledging that I'm not from here. I can respect that. But he did not make mention in this video at all as to who our people is. And he goes in the whole thing about, I got a verse and this, that, and the other. You stay with the Bible. I don't give a shit about it. It's just a book. If you know if the whole fucking building caught on fire and the Bible is in there, that is over with for the Bible. If the whole structure caught on fire, the house, the church, whatever you want to call it. I don't put my faith and all my chips on a book. You dig? But continue.
Which assimilated into society, became a naturalized citizen, like older teenager at the time. On mom's side, German, a native from Germany. She came over here when she was 19 years old, learned the language, assimilated into society, became a naturalized citizen, did things, did the work, learned, and became a citizen. It would be tough to find somebody more patriotic than my mom and many other.
He said it'd be tough to find somebody more patriotic than his mama. He said patriotic. Man, look, you got a host of people. You got Jim Red Wolf, Jim Red Nashoba. You got Lex Will. You got Darkman. You got all kind of people been talking about the Germans. Listen to me. They all been talking about the Germans. He said, well, nobody more patriotic than his mama. Now let's keep something else in mind too. In America, the Republic, Tartaria, the Federalists, etc., that same landmass, white women was the last group of women in this country to gain the right to vote. But look, I don't want to slander this man. I'm just trying to make a point. Let's roll.
Who came here from different countries. So still, if you think about it, a lot of people still risk their life and limb to get into this country, even today. So think about that. I mean, these are just things that were running through my mind. Immigrants make up this country in a large part,
And that's not true. I'm going to rewind that.
It's the American. So still, if you think about it, a lot of people still risk their life and limb to get into this country, even today. So think about that. I mean, these are just things that were running through my mind. Immigrants make up this country in a large part,
It's not true. You know where... Okay, I'll put it to you like this. The statement he just made is a double-edged sword, right? It works like this. If you look at it the way they broke up the original people of this land and they classified and reclassified and shit classified and quadruple classified, well then, yeah, immigrants will make up a great portion, so-called Hispanics, right? So-called Asians, right? Especially the melanated, the unmelanated Asians, right? Because Red just showed y'all some shit about the dark-skinned Asians, right? I'm not finna get in that, right? But based off that statement he just made, if you go via colonization, then yes, he's 100% correct. The minorities make up the but then not only that, that shit still don't make sense because, in legalese, minority just mean you're a fucking child. It just means you're somebody who has not reached the age of maturity to handle your own affairs. You're not old enough to enter into a contract. And the last time I checked in America, that's 18. So it's like there's a lot of different things he's saying in one sentence. But the point I'm trying to point out to you is how he give you that cup of tea. He give you that cup of tea without even tell you who the real people are. He just admitting that he not from here. So imagine if people was to stand up and do like what Jim Red will talk about when he say a lot of people came to this country as immigrants. I mean, not immigrants, I'm sorry. Well, they were immigrants, yes, but they were orphans, right? For as long as Jim Red Wolf has had his channel, at least the one he got now, he been arguing that like they came here as orphans and shit. Like they was on trains and ships and shit. Like what you niggas talking about? We from Africa. Like what about these niggas? He been arguing that for the longest. So if you listen to what he's saying, that kind of coincides to what Jim Red Wolf said. Continue.
Is the American dream still a thing? Is it valid? I believe it's possible. I believe it's more difficult now than ever before. Maybe.
Let me stop because I got to do this right here. I got to go here. I'm sorry. I told him here. I say the American dream, look, it's right here. I say the American dream was to kill the so-called black man, which is a misnomer. You know why? Because this is our land. I told her right in the comments. Like, that's your American dream. Straight up. And that coincides with the white comedian told you. What was his name? George Carlin or Carlson or whatever his name was. The white boy is a comedian. He said, you know why they call it the American dream? Because you got to be asleep in order to believe it. Oh my God. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Now, I go here. I'm laughing. You see the emojis. I say, listen, Mr. Man, Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Indian Civil Rights Act in 1968. 7 days after that, Martin Luther King was murdered. And that's a misnomer. I'll take that back, guys. I should go back in there and edit that. 7 days prior, Martin Luther King was assassinated. That's what I meant to say. Because Martin Luther King was assassinated on the 4th of 1968. And the 11th of April, is when they signed the Indian Civil Rights Act. So April the 4th of 1968 is when King was assassinated. April 11th of 1968 is when they signed the Indian Civil Rights Act. So I actually need to go back in there, but I'm even doing it by this video, by reclassifying that. But I'm just showing y'all actual comments that I left them. And I say, look, laughing out loud, I say, bro, the people you call black, colored, Negro, and African American are the original people of this land. And you ask a question like that, he, right? Because the video is, should we leave America? That's that's the question he asked. And then down in my own comment to the comment I originally left, down in the response, I say, those so disrespectful, right? Because in a way, it is disrespectful. When you think about it, it's like, bruh, it was never your land to begin with. Your land, your mama land, your grandparents' land, or etc., right? Now, Mr. Prepper Dog, I don't hate you, bro. That's the thing you need to understand. I don't fucking hate you. I don't give a shit about you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here for you. I'm just making this available to my people so they understand. Like, Prepper Dog, look at it like this here, bro. You got to think about the irony in this. Here it is, you got people like yourself, and although you're not doing that in this video, but you understand when I say like yourself, they say we're Americans, we need to take our country back. But then you got people that look like me that saying we from Africa. Like, you got to think about that. Like, the irony in that is like, it's fucking off the chain. It's ridiculous, right? So you got to understand, I'm not like just bashing you. I'm not trying to attack you, man. As a matter of fact, Prepper Dog, much love to you for having the balls to say it. I just hope didn't nobody have their hand up your back to make you say it, all right? And as long as that ain't the case, you got my respect forever. Continue.
Now than ever before, maybe more difficult than ever before in recent modern history. Like I said, I think it's still possible. I think it's just much more unlikely or take much longer to attain. And I believe we're reaching a point to where it's pretty much gone. Unfortunately, sadly.
And Prepper Dog, the reason why I will agree with what you're saying about it's pretty much over, the American dream is gone, is because everybody that came here, they had no regard for the fucking people that were already here. And like Jim Redwolf always argued, Lex Will and a couple other people always argue, a lot of your ancestors, they came here and they warred with us, man. God damn. It's our land. Your ancestors saw us when they came here, and not all of them, but a great deal of them warred against us. And you wonder, because this video he making is based off the stuff that was supposed to happen in Chicago over the weekend. Prepper Dog, you wonder why this shit is going on. Everybody have to make an amends, not just me, not just you, but your ancestors, my ancestors, and everybody else. They got to make an amends for this, man. My ancestors, not all of them, but some of them sold us out. Your ancestors, not all of them, but some of them got off the boat and warred with us on a land that was foreign to them. And it's time that everybody pay the piper. Period.
So the other big question that came to mind when if it's time, is it time to leave America or should we? Where would you go? We were talking about this last night.
I'm not going no motherfucking where.
Here, Miss Dog and I are like, where? Okay. Oh, I'm ready to leave. I gotta leave the country. If this person gets elected, blah blah blah. Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go that has more freedom than you have now?
Tartaria, anybody? Red Wolf been telling you we are the Republic. Do you not hear him? Are you not listening to him? It's always been this way. This part of the landmass we call Earth has always been this way. You've always been allowed to do what you wanted to do as long as you didn't hurt anybody else. We've always welcomed everybody, all cultures from around the world with open arms, which is the reason for why motherfuckers in Istanbul eat corn to this day. The motherfuckers in Morocco and Sudan and all them other places got tobacco because of us.
And think about that for a minute. Freedom of speech, religion, work. And I believe there's really no right or wrong.
They've been telling you for the longest, this is that part of the earth they ain't conquered. They've been telling you for the longest, if they conquer this shit, if it fall over here, it's over. He admitting why everybody come here. You think these pale-skinned motherfuckers like Nancy Pelosi got something to do with your freedom of speech? You think fucking Barack Obama, motherfucking J.B. Pritzker, or fucking Joe Biden, or fucking Donald Trump got something to do with your freedom? Freedom was always free here. That's why they came.
Sure to this, so depending on your circumstances, it may be, depending on who you know, where you have family in the world, it might be the best thing for you to leave. It may not be. I would like before I go any further, before I forget to ask, definitely let me know in the comments what, your thoughts on this. Would you?
And I did that. That's why I showed y'all the screen shares. I told him, whether if he responds to me or not, I don't know. He's responded to me in the past with a heart, with a response, the whole 9 yards. Whether if he respond or not, I don't know. He probably won't. Maybe he will. Who knows? There's some political shit he talking about. But the bottom line is, motherfuckers need to come clean. They don't want to come clean. What do you mean, Original Lone Wolf? Just come clean and tell the niggas that this is their land. We can't do that. If we do that, we in trouble. We in big trouble, as Sylvester the Cat would say. You cannot let my people know overall across the board that this was a scam. At some point when that shit click, it's over.
Ever even consider it? And then where would you go if you say, yes, dog, I'm thinking about it and I'm willing to leave? Where are you going to go? What's your top three, or what's your top choice? Where are you going to head to? A lot of people are.
What's your top choice or your top three where you're going to head to where they not fucking people over all across the world?
Saying South America because of the climate.
South America, I went to a Guyana Fest. Outside of being in America, I never seen sisters that beautiful. Continue.
And because if there is a nuclear war, it would be less affected. I don't really know about that. I'm not sure. Kind of makes sense.
The nuclear war are diversions. They're distractions. I did this with the fucking news benders. The video, it was a screen share with the news benders. Some show that came out back in the early 70s, late 60s, when one of the stars was the fucking psychiatrist who played Michael Myers' doctor in the original Michael Myers. I already did that shit. They already told you back in the late 60s, early 70s, this shit is a scam. Red Wolf then already put out shit where the people that's supposed to have been responsible for going to the moon came out and told you they was lying. They told you out their own fucking mouth that it was a lie. Alex Haley was sued for roots. There ain't nowhere for people to go. It's time to turn to the truth. There ain't nowhere else to go. Alex Haley was sued for plagiarism. The game is over. It's like, well, excuse me? Ain't this nigga the one that did Roots? He was sued for plagiarism? Oh, okay. And when you dive deeper into the story, it gets deeper in the story.
I've heard other people say north into the Yukon territory, especially if you're able to live off grid, that would be the place in the Yukon, north.
You gonna live off grid, and our people taught y'all every fucking thing you know. Whether if we went to sleep on this knowledge or not, bushcrafting and making solar out of nothing. Oh man, what's the name of that movie with Anthony Hopkins and the guy, the actor that was supposed to just shot somebody on set a couple of years ago? Baldwin, the Baldwin guy. The Edge. The movie called The Edge. It turned out where it started out as this movie about this bear was stalking them. And it went from them killing the bear into it turning into some real sinister type shit. Like, nah, nigga, I brought you out here hoping you'll die so I can inherit your inheritance and fuck your wife type shit. They explained to you then that there were certain ways to do certain things when you was out there. Because they was in Alaska. This was a Kodiak bear that they fought. It's funny how they always throw the polar bear in there with it being white and shit, but we're not going to go there with the history of that. We're not going to go there. But this is a Kodiak bear that they fought in this movie, man. And if I'm not mistaken, I remember Alec Baldwin getting smacked clean across the set by this big-ass bear. Smacked the shit out of his, and it was a backhand, too. Smacked his ass. But the point I'm trying to make is, within that movie, they showed you certain things that you can do to keep warm, to make energy, etc., etc., etc. And this motherfucker talking about going up into the Yucatan Peninsula. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? All this shit is ours. Where are you going to go? You can't even go back across the water without running into melanated people that's pissed the fuck off. Listen, let me tell you something. Red Wolf put up some pictures just in a video not too long ago where he was showing you some motherfucking some Asians that was like 5 times darker than me. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? There's nowhere for you to go. The only thing that people, and I'm talking about everybody, when I say people across the world, the only thing you can do is atone for this shit, man. You gotta get that shit up. And you gotta go in a different direction, man. You gotta choose a different path, right? Because the video y'all listening to right now, y'all gonna see and hear more of this shit.
Are you going to be in Europe? I don't know. I mean, you're closer to a lot of the stuff that's, a lot of conflict that's going on over there. Again, where would you be more free? Would they have the Second Amendment? Would they have anything related?
He said, where would you be more free? You've been hearing people like Red will tell you for the longest, man, we didn't have no driver's license and shit. Even when we migrated from the South, coming up here to like Philadelphia and New York and Chicago, and we had it was us that didn't have driver's licenses. Guess what? I ain't got one now. Oh my God. He just said, where else are you going to be more free? You know why? Because in America, we were the only people in the world that just wanted to be left alone. As long as you leave us alone, you cool. As long as you ain't doing no bullshit and you don't get out of pocket, you okay with us. Quite naturally, that morphed into something else. But you do understand my point. I'm going to play a couple more minutes of this and I'm going to let this go. Shout out to you, Prepper Dog. You got my respect for being honest. Like I said, I hope don't no fucking shield or no CIA agent how they hand up your back. All right? That's the only thing I can say about that. And as long as that's not the case, you got my respect. Right? Because it's time that people start speaking more truth. Like Prepper Dog, look, I'm not from Africa, bro. I'm not African. I'm not black. I'm not none of that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not none of that, man. But anyway, continue.
When close to the Second Amendment. Does that matter to you? As for us, we would stay. We don't see leaving. This is the Alamo. This is our Alamo. This is what we call it. And, we were born here. We were raised here.
He said this is our Alamo. You hear him? This is our safe haven. This is our home. God damn, man, y'all not hearing them. They ran. He just told you.
We've built, we've developed, we've sacrificed, raised families. We've worked here, and we will die here. I mean, that, barring some really crazy.
You hear him? We will die. This is why they can't get enough of us when they come here. This is why everybody got our lingo. They can't let it go. When they get here, there's no place like home. There ain't no other fucking place on the planet like here. The man just said we'll die here. He just told you we ain't going nowhere. And you got a lot of motherfuckers here that mean that same shit he mean, and they don't mean us no good. Y'all get ready, man. I don't advocate violence. Y'all don't hear me getting on here talking about it. I don't show guns and bullets and all this other shit. But y'all get ready. I tell you right now, where I live, I'm surrounded by foreigners. A lot of them barely speak English. You understand? And this is a suburb of Chicago. And they goofy. But I'm going to leave that alone. I don't give a fuck if they in the military or not. A lot of these motherfuckers are goofy as fuck. You got to remember, military motherfuckers are goofy motherfuckers too. You got to remember that. They goofy too. Well, what you mean, Original Lone Wolf? Military motherfuckers just do what they told. You got to be a goofy motherfucker to just do what you're told, especially no matter what. It's Original Lone Wolf, man. I can't put it no plainer than this. Much love.
Weird circumstances.